First set. Dylan out. Alcott to serve. Play.
Style of play, will it be different than the doubles? The wheelchair doubles?
Well, I will tell you in particular some of the gifts that these players have. David, you will see, getting ready to return serve here. He's going to go forward. He's got the best hands certainly in the quad division. There he goes, right off the bat. And Andy has got some phenomenal mobility, great ground stroker. So he's going to sit back and kind of play that Yui Kamiji role that we just watched. And you're going to see David almost completely commit to that net position right there, missing that volley. But I'll tell you what, you won't see David miss many like that tonight.
With the racket strapped to their hands, Paul, how does that change the way they hit like a backhand and a forehand?
Well, you would think it would change it a lot, but to be honest with you, you're going to see examples of them. I mean, obviously not having the wrist function to really be able to flip sometimes, but you'll see them hit pretty much all the shots that we've seen so far, sometimes just not with as much action as some of the players who are not limited in the hand or wrist. Well, there's an example of David's touch at the net. Really pretty world-renowned for his ability to finish volleys at the net, and it really is what makes David and Andy a pretty remarkable team. I would put them as the heavy favorites here in this match tonight.
Interesting that in all of our doubles categories, the wheelchair men's and women's and in the quad, the top 2 seeds have advanced to the championship. Is there a big gap between the top of the world and sort of the rest of the tour?
Well, here at the quad division and in the Grand Slams where the quads are included, which is everything but the French Open, they only bring in 4 of these gentlemen for this event, or for the players in this division. So they're pretty much, this is the first doubles match they're playing, and it's already the finals. So they've played a round robin format in their singles, and the top 2 players that have come out of that round robin are going to compete for tomorrow's singles championship in the quad division. And I believe that's going to be David Wagner and Dylan Alcott, pictured right there on your screen, giving the thumbs up for that shot that he just hit for the winner. Quite a personality, Dylan. Kind of your quintessential Australian. You know, everything's pretty much good, hey mate,
yeah.
How are you, and all that.
Alcott, Barten, first game.
So Alcott and Barten win the opening game. Barten actually attended the University of Arizona.
Yeah, he kind of heads up a little bit of their adaptive sports program there, which has a tennis program included at it, basketball as well. And he's kind of instrumental in being a part of those programs as a director. And in addition to traversing the globe to play competitive wheelchair tennis around the world. So you can see the athletic tape that these guys use. Creates a pretty sticky mitt, and they use that sticky mitt to kind of push on those push rims and create a friction point that allows them to get a good push, in addition to their opposite hand being freed up without the tape. It's going to be a lot of keep away here. You're going to see Brian go forward pretty regularly and let Dylan roam, chase balls down. You're going to see David go forward and let Andy chase balls down. Probably going to come down to who executes better at the net oftentimes, with David having the advantage a little bit over Brian in that regard.
Are we starting to see more players in the quad division like we are in wheelchair?
Yeah, the quad division is growing. We're trying to continue to just grow the sport overall, and so that extra classification piece makes it tough, but there are systems in place to do that. We want to continue to grow the entirety of the sport, which is going to, of course, include players in the quad division. There's some really good young quad players coming up in the ranks that are going to be playing here in years to come.
How does the sport market it, Paul? Like, how do you reach out to those and encourage them to play?
Yeah, that's going to go through the process in our school systems, in our rehabilitation hospitals and system within the different countries. It takes efforts to go out and seek people who maybe are having some disabilities and want to continue on with their passions in life. And so wheelchair tennis is one of the products that we try to offer and get people exposed to, and events like this are huge to you know, grow the sport, get it at exposure, so that people who are out there and saying, hey, you know what, maybe I played tennis before in my life, or I think I'd like to play tennis,
15-30.
and if these guys can do it, maybe I just need to get a chance at it, and I'd get in a chair and learn a little wheelchair tennis myself.
Yeah. It's fascinating. 15-30. They play 2 sets. If they split, they go to a match tiebreak to determine it. That's out.
15-40.
Now, these players are pretty animated, these 4.
Yeah, you know, Dylan brings a lot of character to the court, and he will continue to be in Brian's ear, pumping him up. He's just kind of got that infectious personality. Andy and David will probably be a little bit more of a serious tone on the other side. Won't see as many smiles and giggles out of them, despite having just hit a beautiful
30-40.
cross-court winner. You won't see a lot of animation from Andy, nor David. Yeah, Andy's got a remarkable forehand. He hits that thing comfortably and easily.
Good
Deuce.
serve.
Yeah, good serve by David.
73-mile-an-hour serve. It's deuce.
Jammed Dylan up a little bit. He tried to do a little too much with that.
He doesn't stop talking.
No, he doesn't.
I don't know if anybody's listening. I love it.
Nice volley by Brian. David responds.
Advantage. Wagner.
Game point for Wagner. David Wagner.
David's certainly one of the most decorated U.S. tennis players. If you look in the program that we have for the Wheelchair Tennis Media Guide here, he's got the longest list of accomplishments, and they are many, almost too many to list here.
But he's
Like-
the defending U.S. Open champion in singles.
He has had a remarkable career. I'm looking at his record, 766 victories to 130 losses in his career. Doubles 505 victories to 89 losses. 3-time Paralympic gold medalist in doubles. Fellow American Nick Taylor from Wichita, Kansas. Hello to Nick. Hope he's listening out there. Great players in the game. Plays in a power chair. You're going to see Dylan cover a lot of court. Great mobility. And he left Brian a little bit exposed there.
Good shot. Very
Advantage.
smart shot.
Wagner.
Still laughing about it. Good touch.
Yeah,
Wagner.
David is known for his hands. He's got remarkable hands up at the net.
Wagner's a Californian. He's 44 years of age.
Yeah, been playing a long time. Still at the top of the game. Trains out of the Chula Vista Olympic training site.
Game. Lapthorne, Wagner.
So we are even now, a
One
game
all
apiece.
per set.
What are some of the different training blocks these guys go through, Paul, in terms of, are they stressing more upper body strength, more cardio? Do you ever go for distances like someone would go for a run? Are you doing a lot of weightlifting? I mean, what's the best way
Brian
to
Barten
train
to
if
serve.
you're
Yeah, I
tennis
mean, we
player?
kind of consider tennis to be an anaerobic sport.
Wait.
So not a lot of long distance, although there is a place for that a little bit, but a little bit more of kind of your intermittent. You know, get it up, get the intensity up, figure it back, you know, get it back down and get it under control. So a little bit more of that mode of training. Certainly upper body strength training and stretching is an important part for all these athletes to kind of keep the flexibility that they need to kind of continue to utilize their upper body in the manner of transporting themselves on a daily basis, and then of course performing in this very demanding sport.
Lapthorne misses the overhead.
Brian executes this backhand beautifully. Beautiful angle, runs it off. And if Andy can't run that down, you know that's a good shot. Alcott and Barten are playing pretty loose here early on. Pretty relaxed. Got to David's wheels there. Normally David will pick that one up on the half volley, but Brian drove that one a little bit deep into him. Gave David a problem.
Game. Alcott, Barten.
Alcott, Barten hold, so
Alcott, Barten lead by
it
2
is
games to 1.
one
First
serving
set.
2. No breaks through the first 3 games in this wheelchair quad doubles championship.
Andy Lapthorne to serve.
On serve, a little bit different than our last doubles match where we had a lot of breaks. This guy's holding serve pretty comfortably so far.
And we're 3 games into this, and it's 13 minutes into the match.
We had only
15
finished 1 game in the women's doubles wheelchair division. That was so close. These guys moving through these games a little quicker.
Yeah, I don't expect that we're going to see any 103-shot rallies in this match.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, that's still a little bit hard to believe.
I want the world to know about that.
Okay.
That was fantastic.
Oh,
15 all.
good hands by Dylan, dropping that. Andy was there. Just put it onto the top of the tape for the unforced error. 15 all. Wagner and Lapthorne kind of continue to struggle a little bit here early. Kind of maybe anticipating that Alcott and Barten were going to be just go away, but not the case.
$15.40.
Fault by Andy Lapthorne. It's the first of the match. Gives a little double break point to Alcott and Barten to take a nice little 3-1 lead here in this opening set.
Alcott's a fascinating guy because he's a basketball player too.
He was a member of the
Yeah.
Australian basketball team.
He's
Competed in
30-40.
London, I believe.
Alcott, a Paralympian for Australia in basketball, tennis. He's a motivational speaker now, author. He's really squeezing the most out of his life.
Yeah, and he's not very old. He's just a young guy, but he's sensing.
Game.
He's got a
Alcott,
pretty
Barten.
dynamic personality.
So
Alcott,
Alcott
Barten
and
lead by
Barten
3 games to 1.
up
First set.
3-1 now. How'd you expect this one to go? I thought you felt like Lapthorne and Wagner may win this, right?
Oh, I did. I mean, I would have put them as.
I mean, they
as the-
still may, but
Yes.
you're a little
and,
surprised by this start?
Well, a little bit, yeah. I think these guys, as I mentioned earlier, are really playing loose and relaxed. And Dylan kind of brings that to the table, and Brian's going to feed off that energy, and so he's doing his job. We'll see if Wagner and Lapthorne can answer here. Just a 3-2 on the changeover.
15 love.
Seems to me that they're not really keeping good track of where Dylan is on the court. You know, that's an example of he's just sitting in the middle at the tee there. Andy's got to have the presence of mind and knowing where he's at and get that ball away from him. And Brian does not have the mobility to probably track a ball down if he can put it away. So we'll see if they make those adjustments.
It's going to go wide.
15 all.
Good shot.
15-30.
Yeah, that's an exchange that David's going to win more times than not. Any exchange with anybody else on the court at net, David has got the superior hands. Dylan chose to attack him instead of going away from him. Chose to stay in that little exchange. David's going to win that.
He's
vast
just,
majority of times.
to me, I mean, this is the first time I've seen him, but he just seems so aware on the court.
Great presence,
Yeah.
phenomenal court presence, phenomenal awareness. Yeah, really a master at positioning on the court, knowing what to do from various positions on the court.
15-40.
Another double fault there. Alcott, and it is a break point. Chance for Lapthorne and Wagner to get back on serve.
Game.
There again is that
Wagner.
court awareness, and the #1 seeds break right back. So
Alcott
we are
Barten lead by 3
once
games
again
to
on
2.
serve here
First
in
set.
this quad doubles championship. The top-level tennis player, motivational speaker, author. He was born in Melbourne, where the Australian Open is. Oh, he is so gifted. Wagner, as you mentioned, became a quadriplegic or paraplegic. Yeah, quadriplegic.
Yep.
When he was 21 and accident on the beach playing frisbee. He's now 44. Interesting that Wagner, once he became paralyzed, he learned table tennis as part of his rehabilitation. Actually won a national championship in table tennis. David Wagner did.
Yeah, I've played David in table tennis. He's no joke. He's still got some skills, although I think he just plays it a little bit, you know, for fun now and again when a table's available. He's certainly become a dedicated and full-time tennis player. But yeah, he's just a really remarkable athlete. He's got a great sense of presence, knows how to compete. Great competitor.
Didn't start playing
30-15.
wheelchair tennis till he was 25. 30-15.
Good to see some fans in the stands.
Crowds have
enjoying
been
this
pretty
match.
good. Today when I was watching Cuneta play singles, the lower bowl was pretty full.
That's good. That's good.
That was prior to the women's singles championship.
Once again, Dylan choosing to attack David. Maybe ill-advised.
40-15.
Okay, I would just keep the ball away from David Wagner.
That's what I said.
Because,
early
I mean, he knows where to play every shot.
Absolutely right.
It's very rare I see a tennis player that is able to see the opening on the court that consistently.
Yeah, no, David is the best in the world at it, without question. I mean, no equal in that regard. Brian Barten taking a nice page out of David's book, out of his playbook, sticking that volley, putting Andy under some duress, forcing the air.
Lapthorne
Really nice play.
Lapthorne, sorry, Paul. He's from Great Britain. He's 27 years of age. We haven't really talked much about him.
No, Andy's a really accomplished player as well.
Cerebral palsy. He can actually walk for limited periods.
Yep.
Good shot.
Nice
by
hands by
Alcott.
Dylan. He's a 2014 U.S. Open champion, so he knows what it takes to win here. That's in the singles.
Advantage, Wagner.
He and David teamed up last year to win the doubles. He has also competed and done well in the singles here in the past. Historically competes in all the majors at the highest level.
Game. Lapthorne, Wagner.
So Lapthorne and
games
Wagner
all,
have
first
come
set.
from a breakdown and tied the score now. I've gotten a couple of tweets, Paul, from viewers wanting to know about prize money.
Yeah, there's to get the exact dollar value for the prize money here at the U.S. Open for these
But the
athletes.
bottom line is they are competing
Oh,
for
absolutely.
prize money.
These are professional wheelchair tennis players, and I think it's in excess. I think 350,000 is the purse or thereabouts for the wheelchair division overall to be spread about between the men, women, and quads this year at the U.S. Open, which is a really nice amount of prize money, and that money has continued to grow over the course of a couple of years. U.S. Open has really valued wheelchair tennis in this event, and they've continued to support it and promote it.
And the other majors too now.
Yeah, oh,
Wimbledon,
absolutely.
Australia.
Yep, 100%.
I had another person ask me, Paul, because we keep talking about the Australian, Wimbledon, the U.S. Open. Can they play on clay?
Absolutely, yeah. So historically in Europe, most of the tournaments are played on clay over there. And so when these guys compete in predominantly European championships, and oftentimes as well as some of the tournaments in South America where clay is prominent, these guys compete on clay as well.
But there's no French Open?
These guys, the quads, are the only ones have not been integrated into the French Open yet. But the men and the women have been playing at Roland Garros for a number of years now as well. And so I think it's only a matter of time before these guys are on the red clay of Roland Garros. So we get to that
15-30.
complete picture.
Little opening here again for Lapthorne and Wagner. They were down 3-1. They've won 2 straight games to tie the score. Brian Barten serving. Nice shot by Barten.
That's the second time Brian's burned Andy on that shot. And you might want to make an adjustment there.
Now, the competitor in me is dying to know, Paul.
Yes.
You can be neutral if you want. Does Alcott ever get under the skin of his opponents because he's so animated? And
what's your best guess, Sam?
I would think so. I'm loving it as a fan, but if I was on the other side of the net, might get a little annoying after a while.
Yeah, maybe that's why we haven't seen David and Andy smiling a whole lot over there. I'm not going to tell any tour secrets.
Yeah, I don't want you
40,
to.
30.
There we go.
He wants to raise the roof,
Yeah.
which we got closed for the night. He wants to raise it. Great shot. Great touch by Brian right there.
I'd want him on my team.
Yeah, yeah. He's kind of got an infectious personality. Exactly, if he's on your team.
Yeah.
Infectious almost sounds like obnoxious, too. And I think if you're on the other side, that's probably the definition you would learn, or you would take from it. Getting his horse there. He's there.
Game.
Missed it.
Missed it.
You know,
Alcott, Barten.
curious
balls,
if that could have
please.
been looked at as a hindrance there as Andy was pushing in to hit that
Alcott
thing, and
Barton led by
Dylan's
4
kind of
games to
sticking his
3
racket
for
up
set.
above, but the official must have not sensed that was. Forced Andy to kind of go up and over him, push it long.
It's been a very good opening set. Let's
New
look at the
balls.
first serve percentage.
Yeah, Andy struggled on his last service game, so we'll see if he can kind of get that fixed a little bit, get this thing to 4-all. It's been a really good match so far. Some good dynamics on the court. Players taking on different roles, doing some different things.
11-15.
We've seen some good shot making. We've seen some good touch. We've seen some good net play. All around real good tennis. And he's struggling on that deuce side with his serve. That's been where he's produced a number of his double faults so far.
Lapthorne is 27 years old from Middlesex, England.
He's got some slice on it.
Oh, nice shot again. There's that wily veteran in David Wagner.
Watch him just kind of carve that thing out there and get that ball spinning away from that opponent. Brian just can't catch up to it. Nice shot by David.
So good with that racket.
And again, that's not really allowing for any hand function in there with that racket taped. And he's pretty much locked into that grip. Really goes to show you how good he is.
Uh-oh.
So can't track that one down yet. He's there.
Good shot.
30,
A lot of
40.
power there from Alcott.
Yeah, he had some. He's been testing David a couple times here, but that was probably the one time it was a good decision to go there and really get after it.
Chance for Alcott and Barten to retake the lead. Remember, they were up 3-1 and got caught to 3-all.
Hey, cheerio, come.
Once again, losing track of Dylan.
Game, Alcott, Barten.
And Alcott celebrates, of course.
Alcott, Barten lead by 5
And they're up
games to 3.
5-3 now.
First set.
Yeah, I think like we mentioned earlier, I mean, kind of just losing track of him. And Dylan's smart enough and has the mobility to kind of sneak in behind some of those shots when he senses, hey, maybe they might not think that I'm coming in. I'm just lingering back here at the baseline or behind. Next thing you know, he's in at the net, dropping one in front of you. Great play by Dylan.
Alcott was part of Australia's gold
Let first
medal
serve.
winning wheelchair basketball team in the 2008 Summer Paralympics. He received the Medal of the Order of Australia. It's a huge honor in that country.
Yeah, he's become a little bit of a celebrity down under.
Yeah. Oh,
15 love.
a lot of power. Don't know if he meant for it to be that close. And it's called good.
If it hit Andy, as if the ball strikes
Yeah,
the chair,
could have been.
that's a point lost.
It looked like it was going out.
Yeah, it did.
Thirty love.
It's a rare miss from Wagner, and all of a sudden Alcott and Barten are 2 points from taking this set.
Yeah, this would be pretty dramatic start to this quad doubles championship.
They're the number 2 seeds.
That's the shot that Brian's hit a couple times successfully already today. Just missed that one. And he had a little bit to work with the 30 love lead. Now the 30-15 for the serving team. Strength playing into strength there with the Dylan backhand, Alcott backhand, and the Lapthorne forehand.
Shot.
40-15.
Well, he had the right idea, but he's one of the few times David Wagner's failed to execute with the right idea, and it is set point. Just could not get enough on that volleyball, just died on his racket.
David will not back off. He will not continue. He will not cease going forward. That's his game. That's his strength. He knows it. Everybody knows it. So we'll see more attempts from him, certainly, as this match goes on.
Too good.
Yeah.
You could see that coming before he hit it.
You really could, and that's, yeah, that shot right there, Andy rolling that ball up over a net player is really one of his specialties. His ability to do that on the forehand side is really one of his strengths.
Still set point.
Yeah,
Alcott.
Dylan's going to try to do something big here.
Serving to Lapthorne. Good shot.
Good by Brian.
Wagner's just waiting to get in on the action here.
Good shot by Dylan.
And there's the
There
set.
it is. You know you're going to get a celebration there.
Alcott Barten by 6 games
The
to
number
3.
2 seeds hang on to the lead and win the first set 6-3. That was an entertaining
Second
first
set.
set. Alcott and Barten, the number 2 seeds, stealing that
Wagner
set
to
from
serve.
Lapthorne and Wagner, the top team in the quad division.
Yeah, they looked like the better team. And Brian was really steady, executed some great shots. Dylan was kind of wreaking
15
havoc
up.
on the court a little bit. It's going to be up to David and Andy now to kind of get their act together a little bit, get back in rhythm, kind of take this second set. And as we talked about with the women's doubles earlier, take the set, go to the breaker. That's their only option right now. Dylan controlling the court with his mobility, but getting a little greedy there with that forehand, kind of spraying it wide. Getting David and Andy off to this 30-love lead in this kind of critical first game to kind of get them that momentum swing back in their favor.
Love.
Yep, he just said to his partner, let it go. In other words, if you don't think you can put it away and really finish it, especially maybe on that backhand side, I'm there, I've got your back. I'll get it back in play. So good communication between the two partners.
Game. Lapthorne, Wagner. First game, second set.
Good start for Lapthorne and Wagner.
Yeah, important for them to kind of reestablish themselves as the top dogs out here. We'll see if they can do that, or if Dylan and Brian can respond and keep them at bay. Been able to do a good job of that so far.
Love 15.
Dylan unable to execute that backhand, which is, again, his strength. He's kind of in a just poor position with the chair on that one. Flicked it, rolled it in the net.
Good serve, one of the rare misses off the
15 on.
return. These guys are pretty good about keeping that return in play.
Yeah, they know how important it is to not let that momentum just roll so quickly with the quick errors on the return of serve. Oh, there you go. You see a concerted effort to kind of attack Brian Barten there in that last point. David putting a few balls on his racket, kind of forcing his hand, getting in tight on the net where Brian had no choice but to go back to David. David all over that net, sticks that volley deep, ties Brian up, finishes nicely with that angle. 30-15, Wagner and Lapthorne. Had it there, he'd like to, yeah, you can see him, he knows, had it, got exactly what he wanted.
But I mean, even when Wagner misses a shot, you can see his intent is the absolute right shot to hit. I mean, he's a phenomenal player.
Yeah, rarely makes a poor decision on the court in regards to
Sometimes he doesn't
decision-making.
execute the shot, but the mental part of where to hit it is exactly right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one of the few times this court's not
30,
wide
40.
enough.
Yeah, and Dylan would have continued to roll with it, but that's been rare, isn't it?
That's one of the reasons the players love playing here is they have so much room to maneuver in Arthur Ashe Stadium and here in Armstrong. Just like the able-bodied clay quarters. Security guys, just fine. Nope.
Game, Lapthorne, Wagner.
So a good start for the #1 seeds after
Lapthorne,
dropping that
Wagner
first
lead
set.
by
They've
2
come
games
out
to
and
love, second set.
gone up a break 2-love here in the second set.
Yeah, you can see a little bit more of a concerted effort to try to take some balls off of Dylan Alcott's racket. Put a few more balls into Brian and force him to kind of carry a little bit heavier load. Up till now and in the first set, Brian's been up to the task, been playing some really good tennis. We'll see if he can bear that added weight that these guys are bringing towards him.
Lapthorne's leftiness hasn't bothered Alcott and Barten as much as I thought it would.
Well, it would normally bother a right-hander if their backhand isn't too weak, but or is weak, I mean. But like I said, he kind of goes with his lefty forehand into that Alcott strength, which is his backhand. So kind of negates his leftiness, so to speak.
(30-15).
Good volley. Yeah.
30
Strike a
all.
pose, Dylan. It's a nice shot.
Let for serve.
Break point.
Let's go.
This has been the one area where it's been a struggle for Lapthorne and Wagner, has been on Andy's serve.
Let.
It's surprising
For
to me, again, with his leftiness. I know what you just mentioned to counter it, but still, that serve out wide, I would think in this sport you could really use to great effect. It just doesn't seem to have the angle on it.
Deuce.
Yeah, see, that's another example of Dylan wanting to test David at the net. David up to the task. Cleanly stuck that volley. No response from Barten. Didn't have the time to get up to it. They're no match of the girls in regards to the length of their rallies, but that was the longest one of the match, I'm pretty sure. I'm sure our people will throw up a stat to confirm that.
Lapthorne.
Again, we had a 103-shot rally in the women's doubles. That one was 27 shots.
Thank you very much for being on the spot with all those statistics for us. We appreciate it.
IBM statisticians all over.
Yeah, they are.
Game. Lapthorne, Wagner.
Lapthorne and Wagner are trying to run away with a second set to force the match tiebreak. They're halfway there.
First set, Alcott.
It's Saturday night in New
Barten.
York. I'd like to get a tiebreaker in, to be honest with you. I think that's the best way to finish our night off. Dramatic US Open deciding tiebreaker.
Alcott and Barten trying desperately to pick up a game here and build some momentum.
Love
It was
15.
a really solid first set from them. They were in such a good mood, a lot of smiling, but you see that's not a smile on Alcott's face right now.
No, it's gotten a little quieter on their side of the court,
Yeah.
actually. You asked me if he ever was quiet. Well, for the first time in the match, he kind of is. Andy gives it
15-all.
right back with that loose return of serve right there. And he knows that was a momentum killer as they were kind of cruising a little bit here. Gave him that free point. Ryan still looks pretty happy, pretty loose over there. He's still continuing to play good tennis.
$15-30.
Points are coming quick here in this game, in this fourth game. 3 quick points, all unforced errors.
$15-40.
First sign of frustration we're really seen from Brian Barten. He knows he kind of need to do a little bit more with that ball. Collect himself, get himself back on task here.
Again, it was the
30-40.
right shot. He just missed. That would have given them a 4-love lead. They still have a chance, though. Still break point.
Game. Lapthorne, Wagner.
So there's the break.
Lapthorne, Wagner lead by 4 games to
4 love,
second
and it
set.
is looking more and more likely like we will have that match tiebreak decide this US Open title between these two teams. Reminder to go to usopen.org. The official schedule of play is out tomorrow. The quad wheelchair singles final will be on court 11, second on tomorrow, starting at first match is at noon.
That's going to be contested between Dylan Alcott of Australia and David Wagner from the United States.
The wheelchair men's singles final will be here in Armstrong between Cuneta and Hewitt, and the women's
15-9.
wheelchair final will be first on court 17 at noon tomorrow.
Great backhand overhead here by David. Angle, look at that placement, perfectly executed. Look at this, not an easy shot. David makes it look easy.
Oh, nice shot.
Andy's got some good mobility, responds. Chaos on the court.
$30 love.
Yeah, I think they're going to make a commitment to continue to attack Brian Barten at the net there. He's had a couple of loose volleys the last couple times he's been up there, and so until he starts sticking a few, I think I think Andy and David will continue to attack there.
40 love. Game. Wagner, Lapthorne.
So Wagner and
Wagner lead by 5 games
now
to
up
love.
5
Second set.
love.
First set, Alcott, Barten.
#1 seeds David Wagner and Andy Lapthorne looking to close out this second set and force that deciding match tiebreaker. We're live here from Louis Armstrong Stadium, the Billie Jean King Tennis Center, Flushing Meadows, New York.
I just think for momentum's sake, it's important to hold this game here, Paul. I don't. You never want to lose a set 6 love.
No, that's for sure, unless you're Shingo Kunita.
Love
In which
15.
case, just doesn't seem to matter.
He
We
lost
called that
first
match.
set 6 love yesterday and came back and won.
Yeah, and 6-2 today in the first set.
Set may be out of reach, but just get a little something positive going here heading into that match tiebreak. 15 all.
15-30.
That's just too good. Just a little of that Wagner magic.
Last 15 points, 12-3. Wow, that is some dominance right there. Really have found the recipe to get him into that deciding tiebreaker.
15-40.
I just feel like Alcott and Barten right now, that they're just distraught. Their spirit's been broken. That team is so positive in the first set.
I agree. But, you know, I got to tell you, having coached through that format of the match tiebreaker,
Can you
many
hit the
occasions.
reset?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
It's like you can just say, hey, listen, it just doesn't matter. We got a tiebreaker to play. It's not like you got to fight through that whole third set where you really don't know if you can sustain. In that match tiebreaker, things get squirrely and, you know, momentum can shift quickly.
Set point again.
Game. And second
Okay,
set.
so let's see if they can hit the reset here,
Six
Paul.
games to love.
Well, we'll find
1-0.
out. We're gonna. I mean, it's not going to take long. We're going to get
Ladies
a
and
quick
gentlemen,
little
after the set break, a 10-point match
roll
tie
through
break
here.
will be played to decide the match.
So these two will get a little bit of a set break. All 4 will, I should say. And we will play a match tiebreak to decide the U.S. Open title. It'll be first to 10 win by 2.
Match tiebreak. Lapthorne to
All right,
serve.
well, here we go. It won't take long to get this all decided.
First
High
to
pressure
10 win
point.
by 2.
High pressure points from the start.
1-0. Lapthorne Wagner.
Alcott struggled in that last service game, got broken to lose the set.
Well, it's going to be up to Dylan to kind of take over their side of the court and see if he can impose himself.
Lapthorne Wagner.
Well, they haven't hit the reset button yet.
No, but
Gotta-
his partner's giving him some pretty specific instructions right now.
You do have time, though, in this format. You can fall down to 2-0, and it's not as big a deal.
Long way to 10 is what I tell my players, whether you're winning or losing. Long way to 10.
Lapthorne, Wagner.
3-0.
The big gap on points one is continuing to grow here in that second set and into this tiebreaker. There's something that Alcott and Barten desperately needed, probably. The unforced error from the team of Lapthorne and Wagner. And sometimes those are better for your momentum than the winners.
Two, tightening up.
And just like that, we've got ourselves a match.
First to 10, win by 2, wins the US Open.
And there will be some celebrating, although the guys that have to play the singles final tomorrow will have to keep it in check for a little bit. Just got a little bit too greedy and going over to cover too much court there. Didn't get that ball away from David at the net, and then just totally left his team exposed. Easy finish for a 4-2 lead on the changeover.
Yeah, that's not a good way to endear yourself to your partner. Trying to catch the 9 o'clock shuttle, I guess.
That, or he's one of those, step counters. He needs another 500 to get to 10,000 for the day.
Could hear Alcott, though, as they crossed in, trying to fire up Barten here. Keep his team encouraged.
Maybe he'll track that down. Oh, great pickup.
I don't know if he meant to do that. I think I might have heard a little frame there, but he'll take it.
Oh, he will. Oh, he will. Hard to tell from that view if there was frame involved. I think you might be right.
Sometimes the players will hit the side of their chairs and it'll sound like a frame, but it's actually the rim of the chair. Another perfect shot by Wagner.
Yep, down the stretch here, he's known to execute beautifully in clutch and pressure situations. Important to probably get a couple points here, even if they don't continue to close the gap. They just don't let those guys get a little bit closer to 10. Maybe 2 points, 1 or 2 points here would be critical.
7-2.
Right on the line.
3 points away.
David making no mistake with that one. Maybe even a little bit better than what he wanted, but he'll take it. Outside of the line. Nice shot by Brian.
Shot, yeah.
He kind of setting up there waiting for that reply.
7-3.
Yeah, Andy taking away that shot that Brian hit a number of times earlier in the match. He was there. He had it on his racket. Just put it just about an inch too long. Let these guys hang out a little bit longer. See if they can claw their way back into this tiebreaker.
Nice shot by Wagner, 8-3.
Yeah, you can't leave any scraps hanging out there. David's going to clean them up.
Match is really on Wagner's racket. He's serving now 2 points away.
It's a miss.
9-3.
So championship points now for Lapthorne and Wagner.
And a lot of them.
A multitude, 6 in fact, as they will change ends. And it'll be Wagner serving to try to end this championship with a trophy. This is partner Lapthorne. Come on, partner.
Yeah, I think he's kind of breathing like, I think we got this one. I think we got this one. But I'm not sure. Yeah, I think they like their chances right now. They just got to play some smart tennis. Error. A well-executed shot will give them the championship.
9-4. Lapthorne, Wagner.
Wagner, a little too pumped up on that shot, missed it long. Still plenty more championship points to work with here. This will be their second opportunity, but it'll be on the Alcott Barten serve.
See how aggressive Andy gets with this return here. A lot of things to play with.
Game.
There it is.
Set and match.
So the U.S. Open quad title goes to Wagner and Lapthorne, the #1 seeds.
Repeat champions defend their title here at the U.S. Open against Alcott and Barten. After a really well-played first set, really nothing but Andy and David down the stretch. They really kind of took over the match and never looked back. Phenomenal baseline play from Andy. David really got busy up at the net, forced the action, finished strong on a number of points.
Let's have one more round of applause for the 2018 U.S. Open Wheelchair Tennis Competition Quad Doubles Champions.